Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about that fucking cunt, Allison Russo, as well as other Democrats who tried to pull yet another Insurrection Act on the Ohio House floor the other day, along with a secondary sort of mob rule-ish Insurrection Act-y kind of situation that their idiot fucking bunch of, let's call it like it is, dudes that try to dress like women, literal motherfucking men who have beards and shit like mine, not quite as cool as mine obviously because they're like really short is what it is, etc., who falsely claim to be trans women, who want to sit there and have dudes compete in women's sports. And that was also something that happened this week at the Statehouse. We're also going to discuss Vivek Ramaswamy and his recently announced platform for voting age of 25, which I thought was pretty interesting, and how it actually worked. We're going to discuss that for a little bit here at the end of this episode, or not the end of this episode, but halfway through is what it'll be, leading into the end of the episode then. But we're going to start out with the insurrection stuff going on by Democrats here, which, by the way, for those who don't know what an insurrection act is, it's basically a violent revolt to overthrow the government. And I would say, yes, standing up in the fucking chambers of a state house and putting up dumbass fucking Soros-paid signs talking about no on HJ, was it no? It was House Joint Resolution. So it'd be HJR1 and Senate Joint Resolution 2 was the other one. And when you have Allison Russo leading that shit, she should have, this is the thing, dude, this fucking cunt should already be in Ohio prison right now, along with every single fucking Democrat right now in the Ohio State House currently that is not a first-term state rep right now. Because ever since 2019, Allison Russo has continuously tried to be a primary sponsor on universal background checks and other anti-gun bullshit. Whether it be red flag laws or whatever else the case be there. You've also had her directly 2 years ago, and I've been trying to find the clip the last week actually here from the Ohio channel to actually play it on this fucking channel at one point. Her taking a fucking fat ass envelope like this from a Mama's Man Action member back in May of 2021. And nobody ever investigated that shit, by the way, as the bribery that it was, dude. Because clearly that was full of cash. It can obviously be assumed that was full of cash at that point. If nothing else, if it wasn't full of cash, like, why the fuck would you have an MDA member giving her money while she's trying to run for a fucking federal Congress seat? Unless they're handing her a fucking fuck ton of cash, as dark money is what it is, dude. But even still, it's shady as shit, and it should have been investigated at the time, in that time in history. And the fact that it still hasn't been 2 fucking years later, for those wondering why I have a hard-on for this fucking woman, and by that I mean I have a hard-on to see her in fucking federal prison is what it really is, honestly, or at least Ohio State prison for that matter. It's because of that shit, honestly. I want our state to become what it always has been, and what it always has been is legitimately a constitutional republic. You guys can see that right there. That is my personal U.S. pocket constitution. And it is so worn out because I've gone back to it so many times. I probably found it again the other day. But that's the entire point, is you have a country that is a constitutional republic that each and every one of these motherfuckers, when they take office, put their hand to a Bible usually, unless you're a fucking Islamic terrorist piece of shit and then you put it in the Quran. And you shouldn't even be allowed to hold office based on that alone is what it is. But yeah, for the most part, they put their hand on the Constitution, put their hand on the Holy Bible, and swear an oath to both is what it is. And that's exactly what it should be. And the second that you break that oath, you should be right the fuck out of office, dude. And when you have every single one of these people being a bunch of oath-breaking sons of bitches who have done this continuously and committed deprivation of rights under color of law continuously for the past almost 4 fucking years now, since August 2019, literally 3 days after the Dayton Massacre, was the first time that these fucking piece of shit cunts like Allison Russo and the rest of the Democrat Party tried to push gun control in Ohio. They tried to use the tragedy that was done, by the way, by an Antifa and BLM allied piece of fucking shit who murdered a bunch of people, including his own fucking sister, to push gun control. Because that's what the Democrat Party does, dude. They are the biggest bunch of fucking scumbags ever created in this country, honestly, dude. They're the assholes who created the fucking KKK, and they're the same fucking pieces of shit who created BLM terrorism. And I'm fucking sick of it, man. And what's interesting is, and this is something I actually learned recently, is the Ohio Constitution as it currently sits, Article 1, Section 2 allows for the abolishment of the government, or at least members of it. And that alone is exactly why I'm going to start doing that stuff right now, dude. I'm going to start a fucking campaign to remove every single Democrat out of office in the next year and remove the entire fucking party from our state right now, dude. Because I have had it with these fucking people over this shit. This is the final fucking straw for me, dude. What Allison Russo, what fucking Dontavius Jarrells, what the rest of these fucking pieces of shit did the other day at the Statehouse, dude, is the end of the fucking line, motherfuckers. And the fact that every single Republican did not have the goddamn balls right fucking then and there. The fact that Jason Stevens doesn't have the fucking nuts right then and fucking there to reconvene the fucking House immediately and expel every single one of your fucking asses from office for insurrection is exactly what's fucking wrong with this country right now, dude. And it's the same fucking bullshit as Tennessee. They should have never let that motherfucker Justin Jones, that motherfucker Justin Pearson, or that fucking piece of shit Gloria Johnson back in the Tennessee Statehouse, because every single one of those fuckers should have been charged with insurrection on the fucking spot, and they also, on the top of that, pieces of shit like Justin Jones specifically, should have been charged with the fucking felonies he committed during the 2020 riots as part of BLM, dude. And I believe Pearson had similar shit on him too, for that matter. It's like, stop letting these fucking Democrats retake office and become, quote-unquote, famous because of that shit, dude. It's a bunch of bullshit. No, you boot them the fuck out and you charge them criminally with fucking felonies at that point. And it's as simple as that. And for those wondering what I'm talking about, we're actually going to show a photo here, and then we're going to go to an actual video clip of this whole situation. So, and this photo here actually shows the moment after Gary Click stood up, which is a Republican in the Statehouse right now, and was basically smiling. And I'm not sure who took the picture of this, but it was somebody in the chambers at the time or whatever that took this photo. So this is what a Democratic insurrection looks like on the Ohio House floor on Wednesday. You have the fucking dumb blonde cunt right there, Allison Russo, leading the shit with her little anti-House Joint Resolution 1 and Senate Joint Resolution 2. I forget which one of the Democrats this big one is here in the pink. I think that might be Juanita Brent, but I could be wrong. The problem is they've changed some of these people out now when it comes to various things, and so it's kind of hard to remember who is what it is anymore. But I believe that one in the pink is Juanita Brent. This fucking ass clown right here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that a little bit. This fucking dipshit back here in the corner is that asshole Cecil Thomas, who should have been booted out of office last year because he was literally termed out of the state Senate and then fucking flip-flopped the General Assembly after being termed out, which is something I've talked about many times on this. It's like, no, dude, there is a reason why we have term limits in place, asshole. You had 8 years in the fucking state Senate. Get the fuck out of office and stay the fuck out, motherfucker. And then on top of that, you got the dumb bitch with the one person, one vote thing. That is Jessica Miranda. I've actually had interactions with her before on Twitter and other social media sites. Never talked to her in person, though. This is the dumb fucking cunt, by the way, who during constitutional carry hearings a couple years ago had the audacity to, when it was being debated on the House floor then, she had the fucking audacity to claim, oh, well, my grandpa taught me how to hunt with a gun as a kid, and and I'm anti-gun. Like, nobody gives a shit, bitch. The entire fucking point of the U.S. Constitution, something your fucking dumbass swore an oath to uphold, bitch, is the fact that it was meant to take tyrants the fuck out of this country. And the fact you don't realize that you're one of the fucking tyrants currently is everything that's wrong with this country, honestly. Like, that's the entire point, dude. Our founding fathers literally had to kill tyranny in this country to take it as a fucking sovereign nation. A sovereign nation that every single Democrat currently has broken, has attempted to destroy, etc., with more or less the recent fucking expiration of Title 42 is what it is. Where you now have people jumping our fucking border in droves currently. So, anyway. Trying to think who else is on here. Okay, so let's see. You got Russo at the front, Miranda behind her. I'm not sure who the woman directly behind Jessica Miranda is. I really don't know. Like I said, the idiot in the corner, Cecil Thomas. I love how I'm not sure who this dumbass is holding up the stop minority rule sign. But what's funny to me, okay, so he talks about stopping minority rule. Well, he and the rest of the Democrat Party here are the fucking minority party in the state of Ohio, dude. You dumbasses hold 32 of 99 seats currently. The Republican Party holds 67 because we fucking vote for them. Not your dumbasses who literally have gerrymandered every major city in this state right now. So you get like 10 extra seats is what it is. Like, that's the thing, right? I've actually looked into it in the last like month or two here now. And I figured out if Ohio right now were to enact a 1 county, 1 rep standard, where you would have 88 counties, 88 reps in our state house instead of 99 like it currently is, you would have Democrats basically have this many guaranteed seats in the state house right now, dude. And that's it. They would be guaranteed a half a dozen seats in the state house currently, because you would have Columbus, Cleveland, Dayton, Toledo, Canton, and I believe Youngstown would vote for them. And that's it. Or no, sorry, not Youngstown, Cincinnati. Wait, did I say Cincinnati? I don't think no. Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, Toledo, and Akron would be the last one. That's what it would be. They might have 7 actually if they had one wherever Youngstown is, but I don't think Youngstown, I'm not sure if Youngstown's in a different county or not. Now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, it would basically be like 67 guaranteed seats. It would be guaranteed 6, maybe 7 that they would have guaranteed, because it would be so gerrymandered blue basically by the people that live there. And outside of those, you would legitimately have a true constitutional republic government after that, dude, because you would have a whole bunch of fucking rhinos that are currently in office get primaried the fuck out. You would have a bunch of them that are actually multiples in counties and stuff like that. I'm not even talking about my own county right here in Stark County, dude. Because right now, Stark County, 3 different reps in it, dude. At minimum, you would have all 3 of those guys. I believe at least 2 of them, by the way, won single horse races, just like Allison Russo did, by the way. That's the only reason she's in office right now, dude, because she has gerrymandered District 7 down in the area that is Upper Arlington, which is, by the way, is one of the richest, whitest, liberal neighborhoods in the city of Columbus, suburb actually, to basically gerrymander it to where she can never get a primary challenger is what it is, dude. And if she does, she easily beats them. And if she gets an actual challenger from the opposite party, whether it be Republicans or whether it be independents, whatever the case be, they don't have a fucking chance in the race is what it is. They have no fucking chance to actually win that district. And that is the exact problem right now, dude. Is you have so many fucking people from just the Columbus area. 11 fucking seats, dude, from Franklin County alone. You got another 10 or 12 up in fucking Cuyahoga County, which is Cleveland. You got another 8 or 9 from down in fucking Hamilton County, which is Cincinnati. And that's pretty much the bulk of the Democrat Party in our state house right now, dude. It's from those 3 major cities. And then you add in places like Dayton has a couple, you add in places like Toledo has a couple, and so forth and so on. But the thing is, it's never single county representation. It's always multiple fucking people from that party in almost always either a downtown major city area or the outskirts of it. Whether it be some suburb of it, whether it be like directly outside the city, whatever it is, doesn't matter, honestly. Or whether it be multiple seats within the fucking city is what it is, dude. And I don't even want to hear it from any party at this point, dude. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican, to be like, oh, well, we do it that way and make 99 seats because it equals out to like 135,000 Ohioans or some bullshit like that. I forget what it actually is. It's something along those lines. It's like, everybody's like 80. I forget, I'm trying to think now. It's 11.9 million people in the state right now. And I think it's like, yeah, I want to say it's roughly like pretty close to 100,000 a piece or whatever they represent is what it is. And the thing of it is, it's like, I don't give a shit, dude. I don't give a shit if you have one county that has 1 million people in it and one county that has fucking 500 people in it. Which there's obviously not something that small. It'd be a township probably at that point. But no, it's like, I don't care if the county has like, 300,000 people or 100,000 people or 20,000 people and the county has like 1 million people in it. It should all be equal representation based on a 1 county, 1 rep standard is what it is. But of course, they will never get on board, either party at this point, because it would mean them losing power on both sides. And that's the problem right now, dude. And I actually found out recently, again, I always wondered, like, what the hell ever happened to having minor parties in our state house right now is what it is, dude, or having minor parties in races and stuff like that. Found out that apparently it was a bullshit fucking amendment that piece of shit John Kasich signed into law right before he ran for a second term as governor, which was basically to do with minor parties in the state of Ohio. And have it basically be a 2-party primary of Democrat-Republican, even though when you actually start polling people legitimately, when you actually have somebody like me who would actually be an independent at this point, you know, an actual internet libertarian is what it is, go around and do an actual poll of people on any fucking political spectrum. Doesn't matter if it's the outskirts of the major cities, doesn't matter if it's places like here, doesn't matter if it's a major city like Columbus or whatever the case be. I guarantee you, if I went around and asked 100 people from each of them places, straight up, be like, how would you vote in these things? I could come back with numbers where the majority of them would say they are unaligned with any political party in the state right now. And if they had the chance, they would vote third party of some kind. And that's the problem right now. Not even having the ability to do that right now is the false representation that we have on our Statehouse currently, dude. And that's why I'll call it out on both sides when I see it, man. Because I'm fucking sick and tired of all of them is what it is. I'm sick and tired of the corruption in general. And it starts with pieces of shit like this, dude, with Allison Russo and her fucking ilk right now, who are doing stuff. And then meanwhile, the opposite side, you got fucking pussy-ass bitch Jason Stevens, who literally fucking cut a backdoor deal with Russo to become the speaker. Because honestly, and I'm going to say it like it is, man, I don't care how the fuck it goes. If you have a Statehouse where you have one party that has a supermajority in it, guess what, motherfuckers? That is the only party that gets to pick who the fucking speaker is then. You have nobody from the opposite side at all. And if that had been the case, Jason Stevens would have never fucking had the votes. Because you would have had Derek Merrin beat his ass at least 2-1. It would have been like 44 or 45 to like 20-ish when it came to the Republican Party. Because you had like 20-ish, including Stevens himself, vote for him, and you had 44 or 45 people vote for Derek Merrin. And then you had every single Democrat, which would be 32, that Stevens could have fucking deal with when he cut a deal with Russo behind closed doors, to be like, yeah, vote me into the office. And you know what happened the last time we had that kind of shit happen, by the way? Oh yeah, I seem to remember it happened to be something with Larry Householder becoming Speaker of the House, who has now been federally indicted on fucking bribery scandals. Something that Allison Russo and company, by the way, in her first fucking term back then, voted for Larry Householder for Speaker of the House. Shocker. Criminality all the way around, baby. And again, the fact that Allison Russo still has yet to be actually investigated for the bribery scandals of herself is even more ridiculous in the whole situation. And that's what really pisses me off about the whole thing right now. So anyway. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump back to this photo before we go to the actual video of this, because I do want to name some names right now and basically discuss with people that don't know about who these people are is what it is. So obviously you got the dumb bitch here with 2 signs, it's Allison Russo. Got the stupid fucking guy here at the corner is that idiot Cecil Thomas, who's been an anti-gun sack of shit and should be in prison right now for that stuff, because he was the one back in the Ohio Senate in the last 3 years or so before the 2022 midterms. He was obviously pushing gun control on that side and was the primary sponsor of it there. Then you got Jessica Miranda, who is a party line Democrat vote. I want to say the pink outfit woman there is Juanita Brent. I believe that's who that is. I think the guy directly behind her might be that Mohammed dude that got in this go around. Not sure who these other people are that Russo's fucking sign is in front of. I think they're dudes, but whatever. Then you got this other guy here, big old black dude right there in the black suit. That is Dontavius Jarrells, who, by the way, is only holding office right now because, again, just like other gerrymandered ass districts, he had a one-horse race. There was no Republicans in the general election for him to actually have to beat to get in office, dude. And it's the same exact thing that got him into office the first go-around. He's a second-term rep right now, only because you had a one-horse race both times. That alone, that entire seat should be wiped the fuck out, just like Allison Russo's, dude. Period. End of story. The woman that is directly next to him, or not directly next to him, but there's a guy, the freedom of not fascism thing. I'm not sure who the fuck that guy is. But the woman that's in between them is what it is, with the glasses right there. I believe that is Letitia Humphreys. She was actually, and this is one thing that pisses me off, by the way. If you're going to have people that are going to be in a state house, have them get into it through a special election. But, oh no, let's just appoint this woman after one of the other bitches fucking resigned is what it was, dude. To go to work at some other fucking job is what it was. And that's exactly how her ass became a fucking state rep then. Then you got this old broad over here, Mary Lightbody. She is a baby-killing sack of shit. And most of these other motherfuckers are too, actually. Actually, now I think about it, I'm looking at this again. The dude that I said earlier behind, who I think is Juanita Brent right here, I think that might be one of the aides actually handing somebody something up there at the speaker's podium area. because I just realized that when you look back at the picture over here, they got the freedom over fascism there. That dude holding that sign, I'm pretty sure that's that Mohammed motherfucker who's a first-term state rep right now. And then I think the guy in the black dude here with the big-ass watch on his wrist with the red shirt and not sure what kind of tie that is he has on there. I want to say that is Elgin Rogers Jr. I think that's who that is, maybe. Or might be the guy right behind him that's that dude. I'm not sure. That's the problem. There's a bunch of first-term state reps in this picture that I'm not sure exactly who the fuck they are is what it is. And then there's other ones that have been here for, 2, 3, 4 terms now is what it is. And actually looking behind Dontavius Jarrell's there, I think that chick behind him that has the sign that says, the people have spoken, the people say no. I think that's Beth Liston. I believe that's who that is. Pretty sure that's who that is. So, yeah, nothing but a bunch of fucking criminals in this picture is what it is, dude. And then, of course, you got good old Gary Click, laughing about the whole thing. Laughing while Rome burns, buddy. Typical fucking bunch of bullshit is what it is, dude. So, anyway. But going to the actual video that we have here from my Twitter account, or I should say from the Twitter account of the network is what it is, that I posted the other day. You have... This is State Rep Brian Stewart. It's actually him that was the one that was behind House Joint Resolution 1. He said there's and this is what he said about the whole thing with this little mini insurrection here is what it is, or mob rule, whatever you're going to call it. I'm not really sure what at this point, because I think it technically fits both is what it is. Said there's a 9-way primary happening in the Ohio House Democrats caucus to see who gets to lose to a state auditor's race by 25 points in 2026. It involves props and a lot of, quote, totally spontaneous. And he said, see, needy, pre-planned theater performances. And this was from Rodney. It might have actually been Rodney Creech who took the picture of Gary Click. Now I'm thinking about it because Creech would be a second-term state rep as well. But yeah, this is the bullshit that these idiots were fucking pulling. I'm actually going to go ahead and share the audio of this because it's basically them screaming one voice, one vote. Yet meanwhile, the 60% threshold is actually just that. So... yeah, one person, one vote is what they said. And a lot of those people walking out are basically just like state reps or just Republicans who are sick and fucking tired of what it is, and I don't blame them, honestly. Bunch of stupid bullshit is what it is, dude. Yeah, just absolutely fucking disgusting, dude. And like I said, if that's not an insurrection, tell me what is, man. At bare minimum, it equates to mob rule by definition. And I would say it actually equates to insurrection by definition because you're trying to overthrow fucking government right now with violence and intimidation. So, yeah, it's a bunch of crap, dude. But while we are here, where was I at right now? I can't even remember now. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. So, a couple different things actually besides that first photo there of idiot Allison Russo and company there. So, you had the other little mini insurrection thing I was talking about there, or at least mob rule that I was talking about there, is these fucking numbnut leftists who were, again, down there to try to keep men and women's sports is what it was, dude. Not sure what church this motherfucker is with, but he should definitely be stripped of his fucking clergy status right now and forced to pay the fuck up when it comes to taxation. And then, yeah, you got all these other nutcases. Like I said, just a bunch of... like, who the fuck wears a mask in 2023? Oh, yeah, that's right. Fucking commie Antifa pieces of shit who are going to commit violence later and try to get away with it because it can't be identified. That's who. Same thing with BLM terrorism. My God, like honestly, the longer I look at this picture, the creepier it gets, man. Because I'm just like gonna zoom into some people here, man. This dude over here in the glasses looks like pedo Harry Potter, honestly, dude. Legitimately. Like if this guy gets arrested in the future for like trying to abduct a child or something like that, dude, I would not be surprised in the least, honestly. And it's sad to say shit like that, but it's true, man. And then, yeah, you got a bunch of men pretending to be women or women pretending to be men. I'm not sure which one it is at this point. I'm not sure which one this chick is right here. I think this is a female that's trying to be a man, maybe. And, of course, some of these motherfuckers, dudes trying to be chicks is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy with the trans pride fucking shirt on was one of those they, them motherfuckers, or at least, like, non-binary fucking pronoun crap is what it is, dude. Either way, it's just disgusting is what it ends up being, dude. It's like, keep that shit the fuck out of my state, man. Take that crap to fucking New York or California or something for real. Get that shit the fuck out of Ohio, man. And then you had, what's funny too is there was a bunch of cops down there, a bunch of state troopers that were talking about it, and they even said how you basically had roughly about 150 or so, maybe 200 people at most, that were at the Statehouse against the whole joint resolutions is what it was. And when you look at these people, this is the picture of most of them is what it is right here. So you start looking for patterns here, right? And you start looking at the pattern of these people that are coming in here. So you got, front row there, some, maybe a 20 or early 30-something-year-old guy. Same thing with that woman there. But then you start looking around the rest of the picture, and it's just like old person, 60s, 70s, maybe 80s even. At least 50s anyway, especially females in that picture, dude, where, you're talking about, 60, 70-year-old women who obviously do not have the ability to have a child anymore because they have gone through menopause. But yet they're against this legislation. Why is that? Because they want to put their bullshit fucking abortion/child sterilization shit on the books, dude, come November, and fortify it into Ohio's constitution as law then. Fuck that bullshit, dude. I guarantee some of these old fucks too, by the way, were part of the Weather Underground back in the 70s and shit. That were actually what led to the Kent State Massacre back in 1970-ish. So, yeah, just a bunch of fucking commie scumbags all the way around, dude. And honestly, it's interesting when you start looking into, and this is something I've actually been paying attention to recently, is the Rules for Radicals playbook. That's what the left loves to use is what it is. And when you start actually reading the rules for radicals and stuff like that, dude, or at least their whole, list of rules is what it would be then, you start realizing exactly what the people are doing right now. And it follows directly to that fucking playbook is what it is, dude. It's to try to destabilize a country. It's to try to destroy a constitutional republic so that they can put some fucking socialist communist bullshit in place right now. Fuck that. Never gonna happen, bitches. It's exactly why they're trying to grab our guns so hard is what it is, dude. So, yeah, fucking ridiculous. And then there was actually another picture that somebody posted that was a larger, like, sort of like slightly zoomed out photo of that first one there, which had other people in it, which, by the way, when you look at who was actually in the photo on the outskirts of that photo is what it was there, you realize it was a bunch of these people right here who were just trying to get to their seats that day because they were for the constitutional amendment, because they want to save Ohio's constitution is what it is. So, yeah, that fucking photo of all those people in the rotunda and stuff like that, dude, it's 100% a bullshit photo. It's them cramming as many people as possible into this like little ass fucking area that can only hold a couple hundred at most, and then acting like there was fucking tens of thousands of people there. And meanwhile, on the outskirts of that was these people that were actually pro-Ohio and pro-Constitution is what it was there. And I believe it was the old man here that was taking like the selfie stick or whatever it was there and doing the photo there of all the people that were sitting up in that gallery. He was talking to the state patrolman back here is what it was, about the rotunda photos and stuff. And I believe it was those guys that specifically told him, they were like, yeah, there's maybe a couple hundred people out there at most, because they were judging based on the fact that we've had previous things like this and how many people can actually fit into that area. And they're like, yeah, it's like 150, 200 people basically at most. And that's the thing. And when you start looking into who is actually paying these people, it's fucking Soros, dude. It's 100%. It always is. It's Soros and this Bilderberg that are paying these fucking people off, dude. Same exact way they paid off BLM and Antifa back in the day. One thing I am going to talk about right now, and this is something that does bother the hell out of me with this whole thing, when it came to our what was I going to say here? When it came to our vote counts here. So there's 99 people in the Statehouse currently, which they obviously replaced Chris Jordan without a special election, I believe is what it was, which is unconstitutional, by the way. He should have been replaced in a special election, is what it is. Honestly, he should still be in our Statehouse if it wasn't for his untimely passing this past, I believe it was February or March is what it was of this year. So it was only a couple months ago then. But yeah, so you basically had them replace him. And then you had all of this bullshit happen with the vote here, where you have obviously the Greens are the people that voted for it. That's all the people that we actually, Republicans. And then you start looking at almost the party line vote there. But then you're like, wait a minute. Why is there only 62 yays instead of 67? And then you realize you had 5 sacks of shit fucking rhinos that voted with the goddamn Democrat Party. And I'm going to call those fuckers out by name right now. So first of all, you got that asshole Jamie Callender right there. Then going down here, you got douchebag Jay Edwards, who's going to be termed out at the end of the fucking year. Going up, we got Brett Hillner, who's another fucking scum. Then going down, we got, where's it at here now? Tom Patton, who I believe is also termed out next year. And I'm trying to think who the 5th one is right now. Can't remember offhand who the 5th person was there. I wrote it in my fucking thing the other day. It might be Beth Lear, actually. Wait, no, because that would be a woman. I want to say these are all guys that voted no on it. It wasn't McNally, because that's a chick. Let me think. Okay, so Callender was 1. Edwards was 2. Hillner was 3. Patton was 4. I'm thinking maybe it's that name that Allison Russo's fat head is covering up right now. While she was hanging out with Dante Race there. Oh, for those interested, by the way, Somalian right there, the black dude looking at his fucking tablet. That is the Mohammed guy that's in our Statehouse right now. Again, only because we have a bunch of Somalis here in the state of Ohio that don't need to be in this country. And it's exactly why that Abdulli bitch is also in there, dude. And when we got 2 fucking Islamic terrorists in the state of Ohio right now in the Statehouse, currently representing a bunch of Somalis that have no fucking right to have voting ability in the state or this country. So, yeah, bunch of shit all the way around, man. And of course, Mohammed voted against it. And so did Abdulli. And by the way, I'd like to point something else out too, by the way. Abdulli, who is the woman, is one of the 8 piece of shit Democrats, along with Tavia Golonsky and that Forhan motherfucker, that are all for luring kids into cars. Because that's what the Democrat Party is, a bunch of fucking pedophiles, baby. So, anyway. But, I'm going to see if I can actually find... I know they had another one here. I'm going to see if I can find the other one here real quick. Because I know that I posted another one that didn't have Allison Russo's fat fucking head in it. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. It was that dumbass Robinson that was the other Democrat that Russo's fat body was fucking blocking out. But yeah, I posted this one as 5 rhinos here. So... trying to think who the 5th one was. I don't think I'm gonna say Brennan. Was it Brennan? It might have been Brennan, actually. I'm thinking about it. I think maybe it was. Let me go check my Twitter account real fast, because I want to say maybe it was actually. I'm not sure. So go ahead and stop screen sharing for a hot minute there. Yeah, I want to check this real quick because I can't recall offhand right this second. Because I know I posted as like 5 rhinos the other day. I'm trying to remember. who the fifth, because I posted every single one of their names by name is what it was. So let's see here. Not that one, not that one. Not that one. Let's see here now. No, that was me interacting with some other dipshit group that was trying to claim racism against me, and I refused their racism what it was. Let's see. Oh, this is another one, by the way. So this is one interesting too, by the way. I do want to mention this as well. So Allison Russo is also trying to fucking fuck with a bunch of pro business groups in the state of Ohio who are all for the 60% threshold amendment. Said the Ohio Chamber's stated top policy goals include workforce development, equality of opportunity, and healthcare, yet they support a 60% threshold intended to block a woman's full access to healthcare and living wages. Remind me again which companies contribute to their PAC. Like, fuck you, cunt. And as I called her bitch ass out on that one, I said the fact that Allison Russo is playing word salad again by falsely claiming murder of the unborn is women's health care is exactly why she needs to be the first Democrat charged with mass murder of the unborn and crimes against humanity. Enough of letting demons in the Ohio General Assembly. And then I made a post after that, not long after that, was talking about the Crossroads demon deals and Supernatural. Because I believe that's how Democrats get into power in this country most of the time, dude. Or it's like this, basically, where they just jump our fucking border like crazy and just start running through our fucking shit, committing active wars is what it is. So, but, yeah, I'm trying to go see exactly where I put the thing at. Where the hell are we at right now? Oh, the guy that does Guns Down America, which is one of these anti-gunner groups, was falsely claiming that they accomplished a bunch of shit. I called his ass out on there the other day too. It was pretty funny. So, let me see here now. Sorry, trying to find all this right now. Jesus, where the hell? I tweet. I think I tweet too much shit. Is what it is, dude. So, all right, we had that one. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh no, it was Jeff. Okay, I was right. It was okay. I was wrong. It was not Brennan. It was Lear. Jeff Lear specifically was the dude I was talking about right there. So this is what I tweeted out the other day under the network accounts what it is, which was just to show everybody we at the network hate rhinos more than Democrats. We're calling out the 5 rhinos that voted against the 6% threshold and their districts for future primaries. Jamie Collender, District 57. Jay Edwards, District 94. He's one of the ones that's going to be termed out at the end of the year, so it doesn't really matter. Or not the end of this year, but the end of next year is what it would be. So, basically just somebody constitutional get in that fucking district is what it is. Jeff Lear, District 93. Tom Patton, District 17. And is there another one here? Huh. Wait. Calendar, Edwards. Oh yeah, Brett Hillner, District 51. And I want to say it's either Lear or Patton as the second guy that's going to be termed out next year. And then here we go. This is what I said here. Yeah, so going back to the previous post about 5 rhinos who voted with Democrats against 6% threshold, both Jay Edwards and Tom Patton are termed out of the Statehouse in 2024 and will most likely attempt to flip-flop to the state Senate like so many Dems and rhinos before them. And they never need to be allowed to do that anymore, dude. Period. End of fucking story. So, yeah, I'm just fucking sick of it, man. I'm sick and tired of watching my country be destroyed from the inside out. And I'm really, really sick and tired of these fucking commie piece of shit Democrats, like specifically federally, this fucking cocksucker right here, Jared Moskowitz from Florida, who said, after the shooting at my high school in Parkland, I successfully helped raise the age to buy a gun in Florida. And that alone should have seen you fucking in Florida prison right now for deprivation of law, motherfucker. And never allowed to hold office ever again in this country. Said, now I'm filing a bill in Congress to raise the age to buy a semi-automatic firearm. So that's not even just rifles, buddy. That would be all guns at that point, pretty much. That would be all handguns or semi-autos, et cetera, dude. From 18 to 25. So that's what's funny to me, right? So he says semi-automatic firearm. Doesn't say semi-automatic rifle. So the guy is so fucking stupid. He doesn't even see himself, his own wordplay there. Or maybe he does, actually, and that's the whole point. He's trying to see if other people will actually see it or not, which I did right there on the spot is what it is, dude. That this motherfucker is trying to basically ban all handgun sales up to the age of 25. And how the audacity claim, we no longer need moments of silence. We need moments of action. Yeah, you're right about that, buddy. We need to fucking boot your fucking piece of shit ass the fuck out of office and send you running out of town on the fucking rails out of this country for permanent exile, you cocksucking piece of shit. That's what needs to happen right now, dude, honestly. It's either these people get, and honestly, I'm going to say it like this right now, dude. Deprivation of law should not only be a felony charge at this point, no more of this 1 year and 1 day or 10-year bullshit. It's either life imprisonment or the fucking death penalty. One of two. I don't care which it is at that point, dude. Actually, it should be both on the table for that. But either way, it would basically be, depending on severity of the crime, it's either you get life imprisonment or you get the fucking death penalty. And that's it. Because when you were trying to deprive Americans nationwide of our constitutional right to keep and bear arms and immediately break your oath to the U.S. Constitution, motherfucker, you need to, number one, no longer be in office ever again. Number two, at minimum, be in federal prison the rest of your fucking life. The rest of your worthless fucking life. So, anyway, needless to say, I'm pretty pissed about this whole thing. Do I really think it's going to go anywhere? No, it's not going to go anywhere because, again, just like Democrats trying to grandstand for re-election and rhinos do the same fucking thing is what it is. This is just like that short-barreled act thing or whatever it is, dude. Or whatever the hell the Republicans called it there when they don't have actual numbers to pass it in the U.S. Senate. So they're going to try and introduce the shit is what it is. But when they actually have the power to do so, to actually get it passed, they'll never fucking do a goddamn thing is what it is. This is the same kind of bullshit there. It's him basically jerking off his fucking constituency to vote his dumbass back in office when Jared Moskowitz should be in fucking federal prison or at minimum should be in Florida State prison right now is what it is, dude, for life, at least. So, anyways. Second to last story we're going to talk about today, which was this very interesting story, which shows us exactly what happened at the border this week with the end of Title 42 in the past 7 days. You had the chief of the Border Patrol, Ruel Ortiz, talking about week in review. 3 agents assaulted, 67,759 apprehensions of illegal aliens, 15,780 approximately gotaways. And by the way, for those who know what that is, it basically means they saw them illegally crossing into our country and the motherfuckers able to evade their capture. Or able to evade capture from the Border Patrol agents, what it is. So you have almost 16,000 people this week alone illegally getting into America because they weren't caught. On top of that, you have $83,557 seized. That was all U.S. currency, by the way. 224 pounds of marijuana, 179 pounds of methamphetamine, 56 pounds of fentanyl. Not sure how much that is to kill a bunch of people, but it's a fuck ton. It's enough to kill a bunch of fucking states. That's what it is for the people right now. 34 pounds of cocaine, 5 pounds of heroin, 7 firearms. I wonder how many are tied to Fast and Furious. 5 sex offenders, 4 gang members, 2 felons, and 1 subject with 5 active warrants. And that's the pictures of some of the stuff that they seize right there. That particular one right there is all the U.S. currency that was taken. That's just crazy, dude. And you can't tell me that some of that is not money that the coyotes had on them is what it was and stuff, especially with that amount of money, that $83,000 and so there. You can't tell me that some of that is not money being given to cartel members to be coyotes smuggling people into this country is what it is. So, yeah, just fucking insane, dude. And then on top of that, over half a dozen guns and a bunch of other stuff. And it's like, and again, like, as I said there, almost 16,000 people got away from the agents, the actual agents, as they were trying to apprehend them. So how many more guns are now in America that the people illegally brought into our country is what it is, dude. And are now going to be future murder weapons and stuff like that for gangs and shit. I guarantee it's at least a handful anyway. With that many folks. So yeah, you want to know why I'm pissed off, dude? And why I fucking hate the Democrat Party with a passion anymore, and specifically I also hate fucking rhinos on top of that? It's because of shit like this right here. We could easily do something to fix our country right now, and these people are doing nothing. They're just fucking sitting back and watching Rome burn is what it is, dude. And I'm fucking fed up with it, and I've fucking had enough of it, man. To the point where, as I said previously, that I would never vote for Vivek Ramaswamy. Dude, he is trying so fucking hard to win me over at this point. And I'm just like, stop saying things I want to vote for you for. Because I'm pretty sure that you're actually a World Economic Forum plant, dude. Like, I know you're supposed to be suing them, but that could be a distraction away from the fact you actually are their puppet is what it is. So it's like, I don't really know at this point, but it's like, Vivek is saying so many things that make me want to vote for the man. I'm just like, stop it, Vivek. Stop it. Like, I like what you're running on for platforms, dude, but it's like, I don't know if I can trust you, man. And that's the problem right now. You know, it's like the old abusive girl, like the old abused girlfriend kind of thing. You know, it's like, or better analogy actually be the abused dog kind of thing. You know, where it's like, you know, the dog's been abused by humans all of its life or whatever the case be. And then it, you know, finds kindness that one time and somebody like tries to like lift up their hand to give the dog a treat. And the dog either like, you know, fucking like recoils in fear and stuff like that, or it attacks because it thinks it's going to be attacked is what it is. And it's like a situation like that where it's like, you know, I've been hurt so many times before, man. It's like, I don't want to be hurt again. You know, I don't want to make the wrong decisions again kind of thing. But for those interested in what I'm actually talking about with Vivek Ramaswamy here, you have Vivek Ramaswamy proposes voting requirements for age 18 to 25-year-olds. It says Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy supports new voting requirements for Americans age 18 to 25, including that they have to pass a civics exam that naturalized citizens take or serve in the armed forces. Said Ramaswamy's platform on Thursday announced his support for a new amendment establishing, quote, civic duty voting. And then he goes on to say, so the framework offers 3 avenues to vote once one turns 18, with one being 6 months of service in the United States military, or as a first responder, such as a police officer or firefighter. I wonder if EMT would be added to that actually as well, because I would say that should be, like, I would think all that stuff actually would be police, fire, med, whatever the case be. That could easily be like a one that would be 6 months on that one, which is, I think is a good idea, honestly, on that. Secondary pathway is passing the same civics test that immigrants must take to become a U.S. citizen. And then it said, quote, this is Vivek's quote here, it said, if you want to be 18 years, graduate from high school, and cast a ballot in this country at a young age, you better at least pass the civics portion of the test that immigrants have to pass to actually come into this country, Ramaswamy said, speaking at a campaign event in Iowa on Thursday night. Said if one chooses not to pursue either of the first 2 channels, which would be obviously the 6-month military service / first responder service, or the civics test, that person, he or she, will not have the ability to vote until the age of 25. Said, quote, our military currently suffers a 25% recruitment deficit, and only 16% of Gen Z say they're proud to be Americans. That's fucking disgusting, by the way. So actually, the thing is that poll and stuff, because it says 16%, it makes me wonder how many people actually were polled for that when it comes to Gen Z voters and stuff like that, dude, would be my guess there. And I'm assuming, like most polls that are all bullshit like that, it's usually probably like 1,000 to 2,000 people or so, give or take, maybe even 500 or so. Because when you actually look at polls like that for polling for presidential elections and stuff, or whatever the case be for polls and stuff, it's usually anywhere from like, I've seen some as low as like 250 people or so, but usually the threshold for most of them was like 500 or so. So it's like 500 to like 2,000 usually is the cap of them, or maybe 3,000 at most. So depending on the poll. But anyway, so yeah, it does make me wonder how much of that 16% is like how many people love those or were polled for that poll to get that percentage is what it is though. But even still, like, even if it's only a few thousand, dude, like, you're talking about the majority of, like, you know, potentially like 2,000 or 3,000 folks. Like, that's a lot of people, dude. So you're talking about essentially like less than 1/5 actually support being proud to be an American, and almost 85% don't. And yet they have voting rights in this country when they turn 18 years old. Fucking ridiculous, dude. Entirely. Anyway. Vivek's quote is saying, military currently suffers 25% recruitment deficit. Only 60% of Gen Z say they're proud to be Americans. The absence of national pride is a severe threat to the future of our country. Vivek added at a press release via email stating, we must think arbitrarily about reviving civic duty in America. In 1971, the 26th Amendment lowered the voting age to 18, following a mandatory military draft of men only, by the way, and tying voting to civic commitments has long been part of our national culture. Civic duty voting can create a sense of shared purpose and responsibility amongst young Americans to become educated citizens, as they should, actually. It says Vivek campaign pledged that the amendment would not require the creation of yet another government agency. This would not be an initiative that Ramaswamy could accomplish, or this would be an initiative that, this would not be an initiative that Ramaswamy could accomplish with executive order or through legislation signed into law. Rather, it would require an actual constitutional amendment to be a thing. So basically, between the Constitution we talking about there, I'd be okay with that, man. Honestly. And the thing is, I think honestly, with the way our country is going anymore, it's way past time for that to be a thing right now, dude. When you have these fucking young punk ass pieces of shit, you know, Harry Simpsons and Chris Morris and all these other fucking DNC paid shill sacks of shit for the Democrat Party, sitting there, you know, talking shit about this nation and talking shit about our Second Amendment and everything else like that. It's like, motherfucker, just get the hell out of here. Seriously. Like, just take your fucking shit, all the stuff that capitalism bought you in this country, and move your fucking ass to another one. But they never will, because, you know, America's the greatest nation on earth. That's why they know that people that come here want to live the American dream. Yet, meanwhile, people like me who are actual American citizens will never have that experience ourselves because of the fucking influx of goddamn illegals crossing our fucking border and taking a good paying job and lowering the fucking standards of it to the point where we get nothing in return. We get nothing that actually benefits us. What you have is a bunch of fucking scumbag, piece of shit, motherfucking career politicians. Some of the biggest, and I'm gonna say it like it is, dude, Nazi and communist fucks in this entire country. A bunch of fascist assholes who don't give two fucking shits about their constituency and want to sit there and fucking play backdoor ass games, do fucking coke bumps off car keys and shit like that, all while having fucking orgies with children is what it is. Because they're all a bunch of fucking pedophiles, legitimately, in both parties, dude. I'm not saying every single one of them is, but there's a fucking lot that are, dude. Anybody that's been in there for over 10 years, I guarantee has some fucking shit on them for child molestation at this point, dude. So you're talking about your Pelosi's, your Feinsteins, your Schumers, your Waters, your Mitch McConnell's, your Lindsey Graham's, et cetera, et cetera. If it's not child-related shit, then it's 100% direct ties to China and shit like that, dude. Industries, bills and stuff. That's what it is. So, let's just say it's a bunch. Oh, I know my thing. That's what you call is my stable right now. So hopefully it's actually letting my voice come through correctly and not all cracking it up and whatnot. But yeah, it's a bunch of shit all the way around, man. So, you know, click off that for a sec. On. Yeah, it's one like 2 to 1 kind of thing now. So, not sure. Yeah, keep saying it's unstable and stuff like that. So, I mean, whatever. Anyway, we're going to be a couple more minutes anyway, so hopefully we can get this done real quick. So, the entire point I'm trying to make is, though, is when you have Americans who can't even live the American dream because of so much influx of people who have no legal right to be here to begin with, it's like, when is our time going to come? When are we going to take this country back is what it is, dude. Because at this point, I'm not even sure it would be through voting anymore. Like, honestly, I think it's going to have to be through some kind of balkanization event, honestly. And I have no idea what it looks like right now, truthfully speaking. I don't know what it's going to look like. I mean, I can make assumptions. I could do, some kind of, big picture fucking theology, wargaming, warcrafting, whatever you call it there, of what it could look like. And honestly, it's not going to look good. I think you're definitely going to have some crazy shit happen in the next year or so in this country, dude, honestly. Especially after that sack of shit Tim Ryan was never arrested for fucking both high treason and terrorism when he announced the whole thing about confronting MAGA movement people is what it was over a year ago. Like, that alone should have seen that guy removed from Congress on the spot and arrested for treason and terrorism and never allowed to hold office again in this country because he'd be sitting in federal prison either the rest of his life or looking at death penalty charges at that point then. And the fact that neither of those things happen is absolute bullshit entirely. And again, it goes back to the whole, 2 to 3 tier justice system of this country right now. And I think, truthfully, what Tim Ryan actually said there, I believe the Democrats are so fucking scared of losing 2024. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried something against Trump, dude, or anybody else for that matter. Whether it be Trump or Vivek or somebody else for that matter, depending on who nominee is there. I would not be surprised in the least they tried to do a JFK on these motherfuckers at this point. And that's what truly scares me. Because if they try that, it's going to be this crazy fucking firestorm is what will happen after that, dude. Because whether it be some agent provocateur that they have on the right basically go and, target a bunch of Dems after the fact or whatever, or whether it be, them legitimately creating terrorism out of right-wing people at this point, because they pushed and prodded so fucking hard that they're not going to get what they fucking were pushing for the entire time is going to be then. And so you basically have this whole thing of back and forth kind of events like that or whatever, which, by the way, just so we're clear on that one, I'm not calling for any of this shit. In fact, I'm saying none of this should be done for that matter. I'm specifically, big picture scenarioing this stuff right now of what I think could happen in the next year or so, just because the fucking Democrat Party is a bunch of goddamn insane people is what it is. So yeah, I could definitely see them trying to, do some political assassination stuff against Trump or whatever then. Because, I mean, hell, you've had the Democrat Party saying that shit for, 2, 3, 4 years now or something or more? Actually, I think it was more than that, come to think about it. I think it was since basically 2017 is what it was, more or less. So it'd be almost 6 years now, give or take. They've done fucking plays where they were trying to kill Trump and stuff like that, or somebody looked like Trump is what it was there. So, yeah, it's not a stretch to think that would be the case, man, if he got the nomination and shit. Or, like I said, if it was somebody else, like a Vivek type or whatever the case be, that got it, if they try to take that person out too, if that'd be the case then. And then it would basically flip-flop, whether it be their own side, their own, Fed informants or federal agents or agent provocateurs, whatever to call them there, that would try that shit against Democrats. And it would essentially be like a false flag attack against their own parties, what it would be then. Or maybe a bunch of them don't get killed, but they're attempts on them or something like that kind of shit is what it would be. And so forth and so on. And then, yeah, it would just lead to this giant fucking firestorm, and it would be the final fucking sparks to a civil war is what it would be at the end of the day. And you would actually have everything pop off then, and you would have that civil war, I believe, truthfully speaking, would take at least a couple of years to be accomplished all the way through. And that would eventually lead into the Second Revolution then, potentially. Now, granted, will that ever happen? Maybe, maybe not. And that's the entire point, though. It's to even think that potentially could be the thing because of how close we are right now to just the total brink and collapse of this country currently. It's a sad fact to think about that, man. And I think it needs to be said, though, is what it is. And that's why I'm saying it right now. Because I believe, truthfully, that's where we're heading as a country right now, man. You got Title 42 ending. You had people from at least 20 different countries literally jumping on boats and planes and everything else like that into another country so they could walk up to the Mexico-U.S. border and try to invade our country now, being handed a fucking cell phone for God's sakes, because there's video evidence out there, by the way, on Twitter. I've actually have some on my feed right now if you want to go check that out there on Twitter in the last day or so. You have them literally being handed fucking brand new cell phones, better than mine actually right now, and handed a piece of paper with a fucking court date on it that's from 2027. So you have these people who have just invaded our fucking country, declared an act of fucking war at our goddamn border by doing so. Being handed a fucking slip of paper saying, okay, please come back to this court date in 4 fucking years. Good luck with that, man. You ain't never gonna see those fucking people again unless they're caught later on killing a fucking American citizen. And then what's it gonna be? Sorry. You shouldn't have been here, but you shouldn't have done that, but we're still not gonna charge you with fucking murder. Depending on the state, obviously. But yet you can have somebody like a Daniel Penny, the guy who had to defend himself and many other people on New York City subway, now being charged by that fucking sack of shit Alan Bragg with second-degree murder. Or sorry, second-degree manslaughter. Because he stopped a fucking nut job in Jordan Neely, who was a multi-time convicted felon who had active arrest warrants for assault and battery on his fucking record and was threatening to beat the shit out of people on that subway there. But yet, oh no, the guy fucking put him in a fucking hold to stop him from hurting anybody else. And now he's being charged with some bullshit, dude. It's such a bunch of crap, dude. I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Democrat mob rule in this country right now. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening right now. And like I said, going back full circle to the beginning of this episode, you know, what we've seen throughout the day with the fucking Democrat insurrection at the Statehouse now, dude. And that's like, this is at least, by the way, if you want to call it insurrection, which I will at this point, because it technically fits the definition, I believe. And if you don't want to call it insurrection, let's call it what it is, mob rule. This is at least the 3rd or 4th fucking time that this year in the Ohio Statehouse, in the Ohio Capitol, that you have seen that kind of fucking behavior go on by Democrat Party, dude. And I believe it was, I want to say this is the 3rd time now that happened, because you obviously had the two pretty much the same day there, but different groups is what it was. You had the actual Democrat leadership, Allison Russo company there on the House floor, and then you had their idiot fucking dudes against the chick-only sports basically is what it is. And then you had another one that was happening a few weeks ago that was the same kind of shit in like a subcommittee where it was the whole, you know, banning trans people in sports and stuff like that's what it was. Or in female sports, I should say, because they're not banning male sports, obviously, which, I mean, shit, man. Like, you know, if they really want to do some stuff, have them fucking place against each other, dude. You know, if they really want to be all special category people, just create a fucking category for them and be done with it. Be like, here's your fucking category. Congratulations, you win nothing. You get a fucking participation trophy that costs like $5. That's what you get, man. Seriously. Everybody's a winner. Here you go. Kind of thing. Like, basically, just turn into the joke that it actually is what it is, man. Seriously. But, anyway. So you have that yeah. Sorry, I was trying to thought for a second because it's almost 7 or it's almost 8 o'clock right now. But yeah, so you had what was I gonna say? So you had those two happen the first day. You had the other one happen a couple weeks ago, and then you had a 4th one that happened last year again for what at that point I think was a House Joint Resolution 6, which now became House Joint Resolution 1, which was a 6% threshold vote there. You had a bunch of Moms Demand Action types, including, I believe her name was Tamara or Tammy, something or other. That was the chick who tried to face off against Jim Jordan for Congress last year in the 2022 election cycle. As a Democrat person there. You had her being one of those fucking cunts that were there that day. So she should be in jail for crimes right now is what it is. So, meanwhile, you have all that shit going on. And then on top of that, you have all these other ones happening in other state houses across this country. You got multiple ones going on in Texas in the past couple of weeks where they're actually legitimately arresting people, rightfully so. You have the fucking one there in Montana, that piece of shit state rep who's claims to be transgender when in reality they're just a fucked up dude with mental illness is what it is. Who apparently has now announced that they're going to be marrying another dude with mental illness that call themselves trans lesbians. And it's like, how is that not just 2 gay guys and more steps, dude? Seriously. Like, you're both obviously fucking men. Like, you're just dudes that are fucking gay with more steps right now. Legitimately, dude. And the fact that they haven't expelled that sack of shit out of the fucking Montana State House is another problem right now in this country. And this is the problem, dude. Again, it goes back to Republicans that have no fucking balls. And this is exactly why what needs to happen in 2024 if we actually get to this election cycle, May of 2024, we need to get ourselves on the ballots in every single one of these red states and start primarying these fuckers out, dude. And if you're in a blue state, run as a Democrat and primary them out that way. Because nothing's going to change until we, the people that actually give a fuck, the constitutionalists of this country, come back and become the actual constitutional oath keepers of this nation, dude. And that means taking down seats of power in this country. That means primarying out Democrat and Rhino fucks from office. That means taking their fucking jobs. And it means fixing our damn country from the inside out right now. And putting in legitimate term limits across the fucking board that anyone who tries to break them, immediate prison sentences. No fucking ifs, ands, or buts on that one. The same thing with everything else like that. It's time to save our country, what's left of it. Because if we're not going to speak up now, we're not going to do something about it now, we are not going to have a chance right now. I was talking to some people last night on the Discord and stuff like that, in the voice chat and stuff. And one of the things that was brought up in that chat actually was how you have this window right now that is closing and closing and closing for us to save our country. But yet, meanwhile, that same window is the window that globalists have to destroy our country. And it's closing and closing and closing for them fast. And it's like, who wins in the battle of good and evil? Evil only succeeds when great men do nothing. When they sit back and don't do a fucking thing. And it's exactly why I have already gotten to the point where I plan on running for county commissioner next year here in Stark County. Because I'm fucking sick and tired of it, dude. Would I love to be able to run, at a state level and stuff like that? Yes, I would. Do I think I could actually win that seat from whoever's holding it right now, depending on how they were districting stuff like that? Probably not. Depending on who it is. Because the thing... Sorry, got knocked out of the chat. I think it's raining outside right now, and it's like the wind is messing with the signals is what it is. So anyway, as I was saying, if I was to run against the guy that's currently my state rep and stuff like that, he's done enough to where I think he'd probably beat me as the incumbent is what it is. And the thing of it is, it's like, as much as I don't like the fact that there's these one-horse races going on and stuff, I believe he is potentially the best person for the job. So even if they had a Democrat running against him in the general election in 2024, whatever the case be, I'd probably still vote for the guys what it is. Or anybody else for that matter, depending on if they were going to, like, that's the thing too. Because the thing is, to me, talk is cheap is what it is, dude. Like, action is what matters. And the thing is, like, this dude has done enough in his position currently as state rep to where you have an actual ability to sit there and actually have like receipts to be given kind of thing, where it's like, pro Second Amendment, voted for constitutional carry, voted for standing ground, et cetera, et cetera. And the only thing I will fault them on, obviously, is that they haven't brought back like better versions of that yet for, like a better version of constitutional carry and a better version of stand your ground without the, civil shit is what it is. But even then, he basically told me the reason that was put in there and watered down was because, we didn't have the votes without it. It's like, what the fuck, dude? You guys had the super majority even back then. Like, what the fuck do you mean you don't have the votes for it? Like, What kind of rhino sack of shit is going to vote against that for allowing to have actual ability to not be fucking sued to having to defend themselves versus a fucking criminal who's trying to kill them, dude? It's just fucking insane to me entirely, dude. So, yeah, just fucking nuts. And then, of course, we don't have the fucking manifesto yet from Nashville. We probably won't ever have that, actually, unless it's something. I've talked about that a couple times, I think, actually, if I'm not mistaken, or at least mentioned it in passing and stuff with some people. I believe, honestly, if we do ever get a version of that, it's going to be worse than the fucking JFK files do, where it's going to be like pretty much everything is redacted except for like a couple of names is what it would be then. Probably like the name of the person that actually committed the crime is what it would be. And that'd be about it then. And I believe that's by design right now because it's, it's been, like I said, 6, 7, 8 weeks now, whatever it is. I think it's almost 2 months now, if I'm not mistaken. And, they still haven't released that. It refused to release is what it is. But yet in 2 days, they're like, oh, the guy that did the Texas mall shooting is somehow a fucking white supremacist as a fucking Latino. And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck kind of nonsensical bullshit does that make, dude? And the fact that their only evidence to back that shit up is some fucking Russian site or whatever, that's fucking some CIA dude is the one behind the shit. And the fucking photos are like a dude from like the fucking like literal neck down to where you can never actually see the face or anything like that. And it's all like fresh ink of like a fucking SS tattoo on the arm and stuff like that. And like a swastika on the other side of the fucking chest and shit. Like, dude, I swear to fucking God on that one. Like, if I didn't know any better, I think they just watched the movie American History X and were like, how does that dude's tattoos look on that in that movie or whatever? And they're just like, okay, do those tattoos on this dude. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at least on it, man. And that's the thing. Like, most of the shit we're seeing anymore is just government psyops in general. So, it's just a bunch of shit entirely. And there's been talk about the Allen Mall shooting there, if that was like something else or not, or if it was like some cartel thing or not. I'm like, I'm not even sure at this point, dude. It's hard to tell anymore. To me, I think it's just fishy the fact that you have a cop conveniently being there on some like quote unquote unrelated call or whatever, and just happening to be there to kill the active shooter after the guy takes a bunch of people's lives is what it is. So, yeah, very, very fucking fishy. But, like I said, I don't know what the hell's going to happen right now. But either way, I think it's a bunch of shit what we're seeing here in Ohio. I think it's a bunch of bullshit the way that we're allowing the Democrat Party to basically try to seize control and shit like that. And openly and actively committing minimum of mob rule, if not insurrections, in our state houses in this country as well. And not being arrested on the spot for such criminal charges is what it is. So, yeah, needless to say, I've just had it. I've had it. I think everybody else has to at this point. And if you haven't, you've clearly been living under a rock for like the last 6 months of your life is what it is. And I believe truthfully the reason that they're doing it is because they're emboldened, dude. They know what they did in 2020. They know what they're going to try and do in 2024. And it's basically, oh, they can get away with whatever the fuck they want now without any consequences. And the thing is, I'm going to say it like it is, dude. Democrat Party is stupid motherfuckers for real. Like, there's a lot of stupid people in that party, dude. You have like one, maybe two people in every single area of every single state right now that has the intellectual capacity to actually do something and be intelligent enough to bring something together. So what do you have? You have people like Allison Russo specifically who looked at what happened there in Nashville and was like, they expelled those people, but they got back in. What can we do here in Ohio that won't actually see us be expelled from the chambers, but will get our point across and is totally an insurrection? And that's exactly what that fucking video was of that bitch and the rest of them, dude. So this is basically a call to arms to the Republican Party here in Ohio. Expel these motherfuckers from chambers, starting with Allison Russo and Casey Weinstein, and going down the line from there. Every single person that got up with those stupid fucking signs the other day should be expelled on the fucking spot right now. Never allowed to hold an office in the state ever again. And from there, you start expelling the rest of the damn Democrat Party too. For deprivation of the code of law, for every single anti-gun thing they've ever done in this state, for every single piece of legislation they try to push through to help kill kids in the womb and help transition children, et cetera, dude. When they were trying to sterilize kids and they were trying to kill kids, et cetera, when they're trying to strip away our Second Amendment rights. Enough is enough of this shit, dude. It's time for them to be removed from office permanently and put in the prison cells where they belong. And it's time for those people to do their fucking jobs as state reps right now. If they're not going to do that, then fucking resign from office in disgrace, like the fucking scumbags you are. Because we've had it with your shit, dude. We've had it with your inaction. We've had it with your fucking shit here. Enough is enough of it, dude. Either do your jobs or don't have one. Either do your jobs or come out like the fucking 5 commie pieces of shit there that are going to be termed out. Like half of them are going to be termed out anyways, what it is. Prove you're a fucking scumbag, Rhino, right now, and allow us the time to find a primary challenger for your fucking ass next year. Because we will do it, man. I will personally go around county by county, district by district, and find people to primary your fucking asses out. That is how dedicated I am to this shit right now, because I am so fucking sick and tired of it, dude. I am so fucking fed up with what I have seen happen in my fucking lifetime in this state. Enough is enough, dude. 442 days of tyranny most of you fucking assholes put us under because you refused to have a goddamn pair of fucking nuts and remove DeWine's ass from office, or at least remove his emergency powers. A year and a half of my fucking life, the last year and a half of my fucking uncle's life, you fuckers cost us. You cost me the last 18 months of being able to spend with my fucking relative. And you wonder why I'm fucking pissed? You wonder why I have fucking anger issues? Yeah. There's a goddamn good reason for it, dude. And it's because you fuckers helped take away my loved ones. And it wasn't just one uncle I lost, it was 2. But the main one, that first one, was a fucking father to me since I was 3 years old. And you sons of bitches fucking took him from us based on a bullshit shamdemic. I hope you're real fucking proud of yourselves, Republicans. And the same thing with you, you fucking demon Democrats. You people are fucking scum all the way around, and you wonder why we hate your fucking guts. It's time for one county, one rep in Ohio, and it's as simple as that. And I will be starting that fucking thing pretty damn soon. If nothing else, what I may actually be doing instead is I may just enact Article 1, Section 2 in a bunch of different districts around the state right now. Find the numbers, find the people, and start immediate abolishment of the Ohio government right now. Because many of you fuckers should never see the light of any political power ever again. Because you are the fucking scum of the earth right now. Because every single thing you fucks have done has continued to strip away our rights. Democrats more than Republicans in most cases. But even still, like I said earlier, you sat on your fucking hands and did nothing while watching tyranny flourish. Grow a pair. Impeach a sitting governor. Remove the emergency powers. Don't wait a year and a half to do it because you're a bunch of scared, weak-ass motherfuckers. Because you're a bunch of fucking cowards. Honestly, what's sad about the whole thing is the person that had the biggest nuts among you was Candace Keller, a fucking woman. Because she and a couple other dudes that were termed out that year actually had the fucking balls to bring impeachment articles against DeWine. You know what the rest of you rhino fucks did? Oh, but we need to get reelected next year. Fuck you, is what I say to that shit. And that goes to every single one of you 67 right now. Every single one of you that has been in office before 2022. Obviously, there's some of you first-termers out there that maybe not have been a deprivation rights of law at this point themselves. But you're with people that have. You're with people that allowed the lockdowns to continue because, again, and I'm not gonna blame you for the first maybe month or two, honestly, because the media, and I'm talking about local media here, man, was just fear-mongering like fucking crazy, which is why they should be charged, by the way, which is why they should never have the ability to have freedom of the press ever again, is what it is. why to be charged criminally right now, because they basically were throwing it in your face every single day like, oh my God, the numbers are up, numbers are up, numbers are up. It was just scare tactics, man. And most of you dumbasses fell for it. Meanwhile, during that same time, I'm just becoming more and more and more of a constitutionalist. And I have continued to do so over the past 18 months. Or I should say during that 18 months, because it's been almost 2 years now is what it is now. But yet, again, local media, mainstream media, etc., fear-mongered my fucking family as well. To where it's like, oh my God, you can't even see everybody now. Oh my God, this invisible virus. It's fucking ridiculous, dude, is what it is. I've had it. That's all I need to say about, man. What happens, honestly, in this country. And truthfully, with what I'm seeing, until I see state reps in the state of Ohio, until I see Republican Party members in the state of Ohio do their job and enact actual legislation to stop future resettlement programs in the state of Ohio, to stop any sitting governor from having that power ever again, every single one of you motherfuckers need to be primaried right now. I don't care if you did vote for the 6% threshold or not, dude. Because you are actively allowing for criminal behavior to exist in one person's hands. Right now it's Mike DeWine. In the future, it could be some crazed-ass Democrat. Or hell, it could be some actual legitimate fucking fascist in the Republican Party for that matter. Who knows? But that's the entire point, dude. You should not have that particular set of power in one individual's hands for them to choose if a state takes in X amount of people or not. That should be a direct fucking voter ballot issue, ballot initiative. It should be a special election, and in that special election, right then and there, if that particular piece of whatever it is, issue, cannot get at least a 75% or higher threshold, no, don't allow them in. I don't care if they want to claim refugee status. I don't care if they want to claim fucking asylum seeking shit. I don't care if they want to claim to be resettled, whatever the case be. No, fuck them. Send them to another state, or hell, send them directly to 1600 Penn Avenue, right to fucking Biden's front door, dude. Because that's where they fucking belong. He wants to bring them into this country, he can fucking have them right outside of his fucking doorstep is what it is. And it's as simple as that, dude. The same thing with Kamala. They want to do that shit, send them to their fucking houses, dude. Be like, nope, sorry, Ohio's full up. Don't have fucking resources for these assholes. Send them back to the nation of origin, or send them to the fucking, president's fucking chambers is what it is, dude. President's residence, etc., etc. So, anyway. I have not gotten a chance to set up a stream thing for Ludless Anarchy's channel yet. I'm not sure if we even have the numbers there to do it yet, because I think you need 50 to do something or whatever it is. I tried to set something the other day. I'm not sure if it went through or not. I don't think it did, but we're going to try and set some up there. Hopefully try something this weekend maybe. And if nothing else, if something does happen where this, channel gets nuked or whatever the case be, we'll be back on Rumble again in the near future. So, just know that's what we'll be at right now. But yeah, everything I said in this episode, I stick behind right now. And I'm just over it, man. I really am. I'm over it. Other people on the network are over it. We've just had it, man. We really have. And like I said, when I had a year and a half that I could have spent with my family member, the last of his life, and didn't get the chance to because these motherfuckers kept us apart. It's like enough is enough, DeWine shouldn't even be governor anymore, by the way. I'm going to say it like it is, dude. If there had been writing candidates' names on that fucking ballot between him and Nan Whaley, Mike DeWine would not be governor right now because you would have had a third person be getting the majority of the vote there. So, yeah, enough is enough of this two-party bullshit, dude. It's time to get rid of that bullshit Casey's Amendment from a decade ago. It's time to allow actual representation back on the fucking ballots and everything else like that for governor's races, for state rep races, et cetera, et cetera. And if you're not going to do that, then you don't need to be in office anymore. You need to be primaried come 2024 is what it is. So, other than that, that's where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all in the next one.